Andy, a 3-1 loss against Barry Town at home. How would you sum up your side's performance today?
I would suggest that wasn't the real us. That's not the consistent level that we've set ourselves over the last month. We had a particularly good October. We had performances in every game, I felt, in October. That wasn't a performance that resembled TNS. It didn't resemble me. It didn't resemble what our dressing room stands for. That happens in football sometimes. You have one of those bad days. The big thing is for us now, we've got to reflect on that. We've got to look ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves those deep searching questions. Okay, why did we not turn up in a game when we needed to turn up? So it is what it is. We made a structural change at half time to get ourselves back in. We were on the front foot and then we just stopped playing, and then we've conceded 2 relatively poor goals. But for us on the day, we've not really created enough. We've not been sort of offensively minded enough, and we've paid the ultimate price.
And going back through the game at half time, we only went into the break a goal down. At that point in the match, we were very much in it.
Well, the first half went by really, really quickly. There were plenty of stoppages. Nothing really had happened, So, yeah, I mean, we conceded again a sloppy goal. We switched off. There'd been a stoppage in play. A player had gone down. We switched off, and the next thing is, the ball's in the back of our net. We gathered ourselves and came back out second half, rejuvenated, and for 15-20 minutes we did okay. Again, there was another big stoppage in play there about after 20-22 minutes of the second half, and then we stopped playing. So disappointing to concede 2 very quick goals which effectively put the game to bed. The last 10-15 minutes were a non-event really.
At the start of the second 45, Faye Marshall, who had a great game in my opinion, ran into the box and got brought down into in the penalty area, which ultimately gave Lexi Harrison the penalty, which she slotted away. At that point, we were very much on top.
We never capitalised on that key moment. We, as you say, up until that moment in the second half, we were really, bossing the game and pinned them back. We haven't really caused too many problems, but the penalty was obviously a result of our pressure in our territory. But as you say, we never ran that advantage home. So obviously we've got to look at that and find out the reasons why and just be better next week.
And then, as you've reflected on already, 2 sloppy goals which ultimately made us lose the game.
At some stages in games there is a requirement for emergency defending, which literally just means to clear the ball, clear your lines and make sure that you're taking no risks whatsoever if the ball ended up in the back of your net. We've been a victim of our own defending this season by not applying emergency defending as and when we've needed to, and again today was another example of that. And if we don't want to break that glass and press that emergency button at times, we're going to keep conceding those goals.
We were missing about 2-3 key players today. How much did that affect the result?
Listen, there's no hiding place. We've used 14 players today, so we can't hide behind the fact that it might have been, it should have been, it would have been, it could have been if somebody in this, that and the other. The bottom line is the players that step over the line have to be the ones that take responsibility for the performance and for the result. So if players are injured, if players are ill, if players are sick or whatever else, it's a fact of football life. We have to get on with it.
Finally, next week we're away at Cardiff City. A tough game for our players.
Well, listen, every game's tough. We've said that right from the start. So next week will be no different. We'll just be looking for a better performance. If we get a better performance, then we'll do ourselves justice. I don't think that we've done ourselves justice today. It's not the real us. I don't think that there's a player in that dressing room that can hold their hand up and say, you've had the best of me today. So we've just all got to regroup and be ready again for next week. So that's a test of the dressing room character. It's a test of the will and the resilience of the players that we've got as to how they want to get a hold of it and regroup and be ready to go next week.